time. Alright, and go. Alright. Welcome everybody, this is Legacy of Goku 2, Dragon Ball Z video game. It is one of the very first Legacy of, it's one of the very first RPGs that is made for the Game Boy Advance. Right now I'm currently playing on the Game Boy Play Player, GameCube controller. Now, the first part of the game, you'll see like a lot of just basic RPG stuff. Hey, this is how you shoot, this is how you punch. Normally we're actually supposed to hit the first rock, but we can actually skip that and just go straight to the second one to continue the story. But you gotta go fast, you know? Currently, my best time is currently 142, 37. World record is around 139 currently. That is with some help with what we found currently with some task strats, which I will be implementing in this run. My current run is a little bit outdated, but that's alright, we'll continue forward. The Dragon Ball Z community is a pretty big community for a lot of games. We do a lot of other stuff, and I'll be able to explain more what's going on with the game. This is just a lot of beginning stuff. Hey, this is a flight pad, you can press A to fly on it. This is the famous cutscene where a lot of people probably remember from the movie History of Trunks. Gohan does die here. This is a bit another cutscene. So. Alright, and now we're gonna get to Gohan. Now, the game is kind of a bit different on how quests work. The game will give you a quest and it allows you to pick up certain items that it allows, along with being able to pretty much just touch other items. Right now we just gotta collect a book that's right upstairs. Again, this is more intro stuff. It's pretty straightforward, and right now the game really picks up a lot later on towards Vegeta. I'm gonna give you a little bit more information. This game doesn't really have RNG. All the enemies and everything load in the exact same spot that the game knows to start them at. You may see them in different places, but that's because you took too long and they move. But the only RNG this game has, relatively, is the stats of each character are randomized, and you'll see what I'm talking about later on in the run. There are 5 characters you can play as. Play as Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, Future Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku. We're gonna fight the first boss of the game. Fastest way to do it is Energy Blast. Gohan has a higher energy attack right now, currently, which makes us faster. Alright, and that's Frieza. He was kind of a dream character, if you guys remember that filler. Right now, Krillin's going to be calling us. More dialogue. Now, you notice that we are playing Japanese, which is the fastest. The game actually has a lot of text boxes and a lot of cutscenes. So the game actually saves a lot of time by playing in Japanese. Before we get to the main part of the game, a little bit more history of the game. Before I joined, the game was actually... the game was completed best at like 159 for the game. And then in the past year, the game has... lost about 15 minutes. Actually, no, actually 20 minutes now with the 139. So this game has improved a lot since I have been around. And world record has kind of jumped back and forth. You'll see a lot of crazy movements and some little dangerous movements, but they are faster and they're relatively simple once you kind of understand the mechanics behind it. Alright, that was a little wonky on the tigers, but we do want to get out of there without less punches, and we want to get out of there without killing any of them, because they do waste time. Now, this is something a little new for myself. I do collect certain strength capsules, as they do give you a +1 to strength, which is almost a full level. Yes, it does lose a little bit of time to go out of the way to grab them, but the amount of time that it takes to grab them versus the level it gives helps Gohan, especially later on when you do have to level him out. You'll see that as the run goes on. The run is over an hour long, so stay tuned. But the game is very simple and a lot of fun to play and watch, especially if you remember the show as a kid and everything. Some other interesting information while we have this cutscene. This game actually runs faster, actually goes faster and runs faster if there is no sound or music. That was tested by another runner of the community, by Turoth King, and he and it has shown that you actually save quite a bit of frames throughout the run by not having the music. I'm not really gonna do that during this run because that's not really fun. To have an entire hour and a half long run with no music. Now, coming up after this, all these cutscenes where we get Goku, talk to Goku, we go to the world map. We'll start the actual first part of the game where you can actually die, really. You can die easily at those tigers, but the enemies that you see in this next area will be a lot stronger than than I am right now currently. And we will level up Gohan because it is kind of faster to level up early on. We found out from TAS as well that this game does have a ceiling XP, which means that you can only get a certain number of XP no matter what level you are, even if you killed a level 40 enemy. And that actually means quite a bit because we used to fight Gohan, actually if you looked at my PB, we used to fight Gohan in a level 40 door area, but that actually found out we lost time doing that. So we do now change the way Gohan levels, so... You'll see a lot of mashing here. I am mashing both buttons. We'll see most of the buttons, A and B, to get past all of this dialogue. Now, we're supposed to actually talk to Chi-Chi. In the English version, it was actually programmed where you cannot go down here until Chi-Chi was talked to, but the Japanese actually changed that. So if you do come across an English cartridge, you cannot actually just go straight down to West City, because whatever happens, it's, another funny thing is that this game was made in English first, so... English, and then it was remade for international, mainly for Japan. Is the only one of the Legacy games that has a Japanese version. The other two do not. Legacy Goku 1 and Boost Fury. Alright, now this is where we gotta kind of be okay. We will try to level up here now. We do need to get to like level 5 to kind of keep up with everything. Oh, one's escaping me. That's fine. We have actually quite a big group here that we can kind of manipulate. And we will kind of want to stay away from the snakes. The snakes actually have one of the highest attack speeds in the game, and they can actually wreck you pretty bad because they don't lose attack power. So. Alright, in the quest here, we're just saving 4 kids who apparently fell out of a bus. And we gotta do that so that we can get a newspaper. Alright, so yeah, that's a big group that we can level up pretty quick there, and we're gonna kind of swing around here. Now, there are actually sensu beans in the game that we actually just passed the Yajirobe, who does give us one there. It's also considered a safe strat just to grab it really quick. It doesn't waste that much time. There have been some tests to see if it's faster to get the sensu bean, make certain boss fights faster. Currently, we're still working on that, but hopefully we can find something soon about it. You'll see a lot of movement-based stuff in this game, just dodging walls. The more you bonk, the more time you lose, obviously, but you lose roughly a second based on how far you bonk, or where you bonk. Let's say you bonk the opposite direction like that, I just lost a second doing it. If you bonk the opposite direction, let's say you need to go forward and you kind of bonk a wall that was on the left and you go forward, you still lose like half a second because you lost all your momentum, but not everything completely. Alright, this is a bit scary. Oop, that's not a good thing right there. Fine. Alright, level 5. Kids, it's easy. Whoa, wait, was that? I think that was a +3, you guys. That was a +3 strength. Now, that's actually really, that's like the golden RNG of this game. There is actually a possibility of a +3 strength when you level up, which is all, like, pretty much just 3 levels right there. You want as much strength as you possibly can to kill everything fast. That was RNG right there. It is possible, but to get it is, you can have a whole bunch of runs and still never have a +3. Alright, now that we're done with the kids, we're moving on to grab a newspaper. Because someone wants a newspaper and we need to grab a sandwich. And, you know, what's saying isn't never hungry. Again, a lot of movement-based, a lot you can do to maneuver around trees and bushes and high grass, you know. Sorry, we slowed down there because of my fat thumbs with the small D-pad. We're still on track here. We talked to Hercule to get a picture of him that we don't need. The picture actually only has one purpose. It is to get a golden capsule, which is another quest in the game. Which allows you to teleport to the world map at will. So, sadly, we do not grab it in this run. Now, to run, you have to double tap, and double tap is a really bad way of running in an RPG like this. It's just sad. Right, so now we gotta get this record player for Hercule so he can play his bad music and get out of the way so we can talk to Piccolo. Instead of flying over to Piccolo, but logic. Alright. Now, this is the first instance where you use the pads instead of saving. That is actually a pad to save. And instead of saving, you actually use it also to switch characters, which you will be seeing quite a bit during situations. As Piccolo is one of the weakest characters in the game, you will probably not see him too much, only to certain bosses to fight. Now, this is the first instance of also RNG. Currently, this is actually a really bad RNG right here. We do not want 19 and 18's punches here. We base the strength of each character based on the first enemy they approach, and we want the best you can get here is a 29, and we got one of the lowest you can get. I think the lowest we've ever seen was a 16. Yeah, I think it was a 16. But that's even highly unlikely, or more unlikely than it is for the 29. But that's alright, we can still continue with this. Now, we are damage boosting through this area. You cannot attack these dinos. However, these are the same sprites you will see later on in the run. And you can attack those later on, but you cannot attack them right now. They have no hitbox except for the ones that punches you. And we are going to fight the second boss of the game. Alright, seriously, sorry about that. That is a really not difficult. He has a giant hitbox. And because him and a few other characters, they have a giant hitbox, you can sit in the hitbox, punch up, punch down, and so on and so forth. Making the fight extremely easy. There is a safer way of doing it. You can always punch them against the wall. You do have to wait for them to fully ricochet off the wall, otherwise they will hit you. There may be times you probably will see that during cell games, and along with some other characters as well, like the androids. The androids have a faster hitbox, and a smaller one as well. But I'll let you know more about that during the run. Another mechanic about that is that we were punching really low, so that took a lot longer than it should have. For every, like, if we had gotten the max Piccolo, that would have taken about 10 to 12 less punches, based on, you would have been doing about 11 to 12 damage instead of 8 to 9. And that was lucky when I got 9s there, because Piccolo was just really... But RNG for you. Alright. And we do skip one of the cutscenes there. You did see the old man go down, but the game forgot that you can go around and just go here, and we can continue. Talk to the police officer, who apparently did not stop the guy. But hey, that's fine. Just let him through. Here, we're going to level up Gohan. This is a bit of a safe strat that I've developed myself. It's a safe strat for now, instead of doing something later that will make Gohan leveling extremely difficult. So, because these characters are relatively Gohan's level, it's easy to level up from these guys. It takes about 2 until he hits around level 8, and then it takes 3. Alright. We do try to get him to level 11 here. It is extremely useful to get him his level as high as we can. Because the game does give us 2 free levels each character, meaning the game, well, except for Goku. Goku, he's automatically always level 35, but the game will has 2 training episodes where they give you a free level. So the better we do it now, the more easier it is to become for Gohan later on. And we attack the old man for no reason. He is going to let us get the key. And the dog likes to block me. It's RNG too. It's not really RNG. It's more speed on the fact that I bonked and didn't talk to the old man fast enough. So if someone tries to tell you it's RNG, it's not. It's just being slow. Level 10. I do like to try to get to a level 11 here if I can. Those guys like to be in my way, but that's fine. Level +2. Those are really good. You want those all the time. Do you get them all the time? No. Because RNG is against you. Alright, and we are out of here. We got the key. We can talk to the mayor and be on our way. And you'll see the first instance of what I meant by, like, training sessions. This game is really detailed, I believe, even when I was a kid. Like, look at the trees and just, you know, like the design of like the police officers and the people. I thought that was actually pretty good for a Game Boy Advance. It's kind of a neat way of doing the game. Alright, the star is always off of where it's actually supposed to be. So I always try to overshoot it. I think I overshot it too much there. Alright, we are going to be on our way to talk to, or to unlock Vegeta. Now, Vegeta is the second most important character in the game, not second most important character of the show. Wink, wink. Vegeta is probably like last character. More cutscenes. This is where Bulma tells us that she had a baby with Vegeta. Saw that come on. Man. Now we talk to Yajirobe. This is the only senzu bean we do get in the run. Also because it is mandatory. Alright. And this is the first time where you will see Super Saiyan in the game. Super Saiyan was announced or allowed in its previous game, but it worked differently. This game, the Super Saiyan works. It can work against you pretty good, depending on your RNG of your energy bar, which that is a stat of RNG base, but it's not to the extreme of your stats. And I will let you know if we have a bad Vegeta. Bad Vegetas are a known case in the Dragon Ball Z community of this game. It's just a troll. It really is. Because Vegeta has one of the most fights in bosses. Goku is the first most important character because he comes so late in the game, but he has the most to do at the last part of the game. So he is definitely the most important. Vegeta kind of takes the role of the main character throughout the game until Goku kind of shows up. So that's kind of why Vegeta is the second most important. And then it's Piccolo. Then it's Trunks, Piccolo, and then Gohan. Gohan only has one fight, and you will not see Gohan actually until the end of the game. So Gohan is gone. He's just in cutscenes, not coming back. Wow, we got a really good Vegeta here. That is really good. That is a 57 to 61 I saw. Wow, we were slow right there. But normally he can actually give us like a really low one, which can be up to like a 34, 35, and that's really bad. You do not want that. That is just slow. Like right now, I'm doing twice as much damage with less punches. So think about that. That means if it takes 1 minute to do something, it's gonna take 2 minutes now, and it just adds up, especially in this long run. So that is really good. We got that. The only other character that I really do care, if we get kind of any stats at all, is Goku, and a certain average for Goku is you want him to be punching maybe 150 Super Saiyan. So, but we'll see how far, because Goku comes like an hour and 20 minutes into the run. So we'll see. But this is a very straightforward fight right here. This is Android 19, the clown-looking thing, and his ability is actually to steal energy drain. So actually, in the game, you can't actually use energy shots in this guy because he will actually retain health. All right, and that is the bouncing off the wall mechanics right there that everybody knows about. Nah, I'm just kidding. What it is you see me waiting. You can't just keep smacking him against the wall. Actually, he will fly through. He actually has iframes when any enemy bounces off the wall, and when that happens, you have to wait for them to kind of come to a complete stop before you can smack them again. If you do it anytime too soon, the AI is programmed to like take control right away and hit you. So it's best to just wait until they bounce off completely, and then you can keep on hitting them. Just keep on trucking. This is Android 20. This is the first fight. We gotta fight him 4 times because we just keep letting him go. Nope. Well, that happened. And that's fine. That's a really good fight, actually. That was really good. You want it to be clean. You just want it to go smooth. You want it just to bounce off the wall and just keep hitting them. The fact that I did punch him left messed up, but think about the thumb size to this D-pad, you guys. Look at that. So. And now there's more dialogue, letting them know where they actually know Jiro's lab is. Instead of, they could have figured that out 3 years ago. But, plot. Alright. We are completed quite a bit of the story so far, but we still got a bit to go. Right now, we are on our way to fight Jiro 3 more times. And we actually have to unlock our barriers. Some movement here. We can skip through a lot of the guys here. The way that it's each character is set. Now each one is set in a certain spot, and we can. That's and around here, the birds are meant to like kind of just fly away and attack us from afar. This is the second Jiro fight. We will go Super Saiyan. Alright, and that was a really good fight. Alright, we do want to collect some more energy if we can here. If not, that's alright. Okay. That's the barrier. We can't fly around it because plot. Alright, look at that. We can kill that thing right away. I wish I could have grabbed that, but like, that's fine. Alright, and we gotta knock out 3 of the barriers. That was one of them. Wish everything was easy as that was, but it's not. Alright, and alright, that was really good. We got him right before the Super Saiyan went out. A funny thing, when you walk into one scene and it triggers a boss fight, there's actually one frame can trigger something, whether it's an energy blast, a transformation, a punch. You can still do one frame, and it actually can save time if you can transform during a cutscene. But there's actually really hard to guess. There's no visual clue upon it. You kind of just time it yourself in your mind. So now eggs. Eggs is so fun. I'm gonna try to do one, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. Alright, first one. Got it. We got it. Alright. Eggs is it's not difficult. It's not. It's super easy. There's actually a backup strat that's super simple. It's slow, but it's fine. There's that tiger, that's the problem. That tiger if you get too close or you try to do anything, the way that the game apparently is programmed is that every time you are close to an enemy, every frame, the game is like, do we hit it or not? Do we punch? Do we punch? And there's at any moment that he can just reach out and hit you. Alright, 2 eggs. 2 eggs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 2 eggs. Come on. We can do 3 eggs. We can do 3 eggs. Oh yeah, no eggs broken, you guys. Look at that. Alright, now I'm gonna explain to you. When you're carrying an egg, you can't fight. You can't punch, you can't go Super Saiyan, you can't energy blast, you can't do anything except run. So that's why you have to run through the entire thing, and that's the fastest way of doing it, is to go top route. Now there is a bottom route where you can go through it in slow, but it's safe. So there's always backups for the eggs as well. That tiger right there, he can be a troll, but we got it this time. Eggs is a very notorious spot for runners to kind of lose a lot of time. Heck, in my PB, I broke 1 egg. So here we are going to level up Vegeta. Plus two, we got that. You always want to look at the top number. The top numbers gives you the strength, so. RNG. Okay, this is actually one of the very few maps where they're actually not set in a set location. Actually, those are actually random. The ladybugs, those machines that squirt out water guns, and the robots can be anywhere, from all the way at the bottom to every single one at the top. We are going to punch these guys so that after we fight Jiro, we do try to level up a little bit. Kind of damage boost as we can. Damage boosting can be really unsafe, but I run this for this game quite a bit. It's pretty alright. And that's the last Jiro fight. That's all of them right there. He will blow up later from his creations, but that's a story from a different time. A world long, long ago. Incoming the bad music from Hercule. That was pretty good right there. That was pretty good movements. We will fight them on the way back, so we can level up and kind of keep our momentum. Alright, and that puzzle's always the same. It's always the same 3 switches, so you don't have to worry about that. It's always black, green, and blue. So, funny enough, the clue is actually supposed to be to talk to the villagers at the bottom of the cliff. That's actually the clue to the switches. Or you could have been like me when I was a kid and just guessed for like 20 minutes. Either one. We didn't have YouTube when I was a kid to give us the answers, so... They usually split here when the barrier goes. There. Alright. This area is really hard to run in, so it's like... It's kind of just better just to walk it. Alright, I do want to let you, the robot's explosion can kill you. So if you are really low in health and you stand next to it, you die. Even if you leveled up. I tested it out myself, actually. I try to see if you can die and level up at the same time. It doesn't work. And we wasted actually quite a bit of energy right there. We can kind of get that back in one moment. Alright, and we are on our way to fight 18. More cutscenes of Jiro and his robots attacking him. So there's that. I'm still mashing. I even mash when like no text boxes are up. Alright, so we're gonna try to punch some rocks to get some energy back here. RNG dictates that if you're low on energy, you should get energy first before you get health. But based on some runs I've had, if I want energy, I get health. If I want health, I get energies. Alright. I think I split here when Vegeta goes down. Alright, and this is where we unlock Trunks. Everybody's like favorite character during this series, this season, episodes. Saga? Chapter? And Future Trunks actually can be quite a help actually, with his strength if he is a good character. He doesn't get that many fights, but the fights he does have are pretty important. So we do, no matter what, you will lose time if a character has bad stats. But if you do get one that has bad stats, Trunks is one that will lose like the last amount of time, along with Gohan, because he only fights Cell. Gohan will lose you a lot of time though in leveling if he takes forever punching the alligators. Right now we're gonna try to talk to Kami. Mr. Popo is not in the way. Alright, Mr. Popo can be in the way no matter where you go. He can go left, he can go right. It doesn't matter where he goes, as long as it doesn't get in my way. Now this is a bit of the training section of the game. We will be training Trunks to 30 and Piccolo to 25 for the respective doors that they do have to unlock. The game forces you to level up certain areas, before you can get to certain areas. So, and kudos to anybody who can try to find a skip to those doors, because this run can go a whole lot faster if we try to do that. Alright, we're gonna skip Yajirobe here. He doesn't have a sensu. He's just telling us that he's not gonna give us any more sensus because the world is coming to a searing halt with all these bad guys, and we're not gonna give you sensus because we want fish. So, because of the grass, it's a bit hard for me to read what I'm getting. I'm seeing 129s, so that's actually really good for. No, that's 119. Okay. The best Trunks I've seen is 142s. I think we're getting about relatively 20 off of it. I'm still seeing 127s. So yeah, we're still almost a little bit under the 130 areas, and that's fine. We got a +2. So that's really helpful, considering Trunks actually only levels up 3 times. He actually starts out at level 27. So we do want to get +2s as much as we can. We're already punching 142s, which is really good. So we do want him to keep on getting that as much as we can. Concentrate here a little bit. We did find out that if you go to the top area right here, there is actually a lot of more bears that can be easily killed, and it's a bit faster. I kind of go to the bottom route out of habit. And because it's so close quarters here, +2 again, that is awesome. We do need that. We're gonna fight. Level 29 does take a bit of time here. So we do 2 sets of these bears, talk to the cutscene, and then we finish it off with 2 to 3 bears. Get 150s I saw, so if we can get another +2, this will be a really good Trunks. He'll be really solid. He'll be able to fight he will be able to fight Perfect Cell along with a Cell Jr., which is the only bosses Trunks actually has to deal with. Trigger the cutscene, and we're gonna fight 2 more bosses, or 2 more bears. I don't want to jinx it, but all in all, this is a pretty solid, alright run. Gohan, I haven't really seen too much. Piccolo was really bad. He could use some help, but the section that Vegeta and Trunks work in, that's gonna be coming up, is actually gonna be really well. The section that Piccolo has to deal with, which is 17, which is notorious for ending a lot of people's runs. We got a +1 there, that's fine. Piccolo may have some trouble, so we may use the strength capsules on Piccolo instead of Gohan this run. It can be a toss-up on what you want to do. I believe to get the strength capsules to kind of balance one that's kind of bad, so we might use them on Piccolo to kind of get him to kind of keep the gear for 17. Like I said, each +1 kind of equals a level. If you notice, every time you level, you usually get a +1. There are rare occasions you get +0. But yeah, it does help having him try. And considering Piccolo is the lowest level besides Gohan that's going to be in the game, level 25 is not exactly the strongest kind of character you want. Special Beam Cannon is always a good backup. If the bears are kind of spaced out in the wrong way, I can Special Beam and it goes right through everything. It is found out to be slower by Taz because you don't get the crits from the punches, but we'll be fine. Piccolo, for a fun fact actually, Piccolo has the quickest transformation in the game. That is actually the quickest one out of the Super Saiyan thing. And the most incorrect one. Piccolo, actually, in the show, is not a transformation. That is actually just his regular form. So, it does give up the common misconception that he is some kind of super Namek. Unlike Super Saiyan, because Super Saiyan can put a stress in the body, his infused in Wakami didn't do anything like that. So. We did get some +2s. I saw a lot of +1s there in the beginning. I'm seeing more +2s towards the later half of these levels, which is totally fine. We are definitely gonna try to get as much +2s as we can. We have no control over it, but that's fine. +1, that's cool. +1, that's alright. As long as we keep getting +1s, we kind of keep ahead. Definitely don't want +0s. Another interesting fact about Piccolo's so-called transformation is he heals over time. He heals himself. So I think that's the added benefit, or that's supposed to be the replacement benefit. Some more interesting facts about Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan, for any of the Super Saiyans, or any of the Saiyans, it gives them +10 to every attribute. Meaning, oh, a +2 right there, look at that. Yeah, there's attributes you saw on the start screen or on the pause menu, and it gives you +10 to all the attributes. Now, Piccolo's does not do that. It only gives him +5. So not only is he one of the most weakest characters, his super transformation only gives him +5 to strength. So you know, if you want more reason to hate Piccolo in this game, good lord. Now we are going to level up to 25.5, so that after we fight in Perfect Cell, we gain another level so that we have enough health and energy to fight 17. Because that's another fight almost right after some cutscenes. 25, we got a +1, that's fine. We're gonna level up quite half a bit here, if I can time this right. Alright. We're gonna take a bit of a safe route here. We only need 2 more bears, so there's no reason to go all the way to the left and then try to fight through those guys and have a mess. So it's just better to go that way, and we'll be fine. Alright. Now we are on to Imperfect Cell. Another case of the dino you saw earlier in the run, where we are inside his hitbox and we're punching up and down all the time. Yeah, give me one. All right, and that is pretty close to a good perfect fight right there. He didn't get too far away. No rocks got in my way, and we didn't lose Super Namek at all during the fight. So you do not want to lose transformations during fights. It's never a good idea. Alright, and now we're on to the cutscene part where Trunks needed to be level 30. You, Namek, stronger. Explain. Pretty much fused with Kami. The heck's a Kami? Basically God. But I'm right here. Alright. Now, this is just a simple cutscene. This whole segment actually was really unnecessary, because the level 30 door doesn't actually have a boss and nothing. So, like, if you can skip that door, you can actually just trigger the cutscene and be done with it. But then Trunks would have no need to level at all, so... which would save a lot of time if he had no reason to level. You just go straight to the only fight he would. I mean, he would have the cells. He would still have all the boss fights, but he'd be a little bit weaker. Usually you go Super Saiyan a little bit earlier than that, but it's fine. Alright, we can zoom past those guys. Trying to deleg this area can be a mess. So it's just better to run through it. It takes too much time to stop and punch him to stop doing the flamethrowers. Interesting fact, in the American version, game puts you out of Super Saiyan at this moment. So, some more interesting facts about some small differences the game may have versus American for Japanese version. Nothing too crazy. I wish we found some like crazy skip in the American version, but no luck. This is just a cutscene to explain where Cell actually original body is, and them killing Cell to avoid another one to show up. Alright, and this is where we're going to switch to Gohan, because he has one special move that is actually extremely useful during his leveling up phase. And Master Roshi teaches him right here, and boom, we got it. There we go. All done. Doesn't take that long, and it helps a lot of time later on during some leveling. We will grab another move for Piccolo. Piccolo's is probably one of the worst moves in the game. By the way, these are all charge attacks, so you do have to hold A to charge them up. Piccolo's is a spin kick, and you have to be really close for it to work. Now, it also could be one of the strongest ones, because if you are inside the hitbox of whatever enemy it is, it will hit every single frame it's in the hitbox, so it can swing up to 4 times. Which we'll be using against 17. Now, if I do it correctly, you will see a lot of damage in those swings. So, which helps the fight enormously. Here, we're going to go to the hyperbolic time chamber. One more time, Mr. Popo. There we go. Good job, Mr. Popo. Good job, Genie. Alright, we're on to another boss fight relatively soon. So that's why we leveled up. You notice that he's full health and energy because he did level up at the 26 after Imperfect Cells. Alright, and this is where we trigger more cutscenes and we fight. Now, it is a bit of a safer way of doing this fight. I am going to show that so that we can kind of get things going. A good thing to do is to save there, because this can actually be a drastically bad fight if the knockback is also somewhat RNG. It is RNG. He is not consistent at all on how far he will bounce off a wall. So we will definitely get that started. We're going to talk to Master Roshi real quick. This is going to like about 7 seconds. Boom, we got the move. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, we just lost more time because I bonked into a pole. Oh, I forgot to... Okay. Remember when I said Piccolo heals? And that's what I'm about by the spin kick, by the way. You saw his health drop considerably when he is nailed with all those hits. So you kind of want to try to hit him as good as you can with that. You'll see me do it more and more. We still got 2 more fights. We still got 2 more times to keep doing this. So. We are going to use a Sensu to get our energy back. Alright, one more time. And there you go. That's 17. And that fight is really hard, even for casual. Because if you're casual, you are not in his face. And you are just punching, running, punching, you know, just, it's a mess. And we actually got quite a few good of those spin kicks. Like, I thought that was really good. We are currently... 3 minutes, no. 9. Yeah, 3 minutes behind the 142 run I had, so, and that's mainly because of some stuff in the beginning, and probably about this fight. That beginning of this fight was a bit off, but this run is pretty solid. It's definitely something. This game is a lot of fun still. The music is great. It's definitely got a good tune. They definitely made it difficult, or a certain difficulty in this game. So that is currently the last boss fight, except for Cell Jr. Cell Jr., Trunks, Vegeta, and Piccolo. They all fight one. Gohan and Goku fight Cell. And you'll see how tough Cell Jr. is gonna be. Cell Jr.'s have the smallest hitbox. No, that's not the smallest. There's actually one other character that does. But one of the smallest hitbox, with the annoyance of the giant knockback that androids have, along with just high amount of health. Alright, this is the segment that we can kind of make up time. This is the segment that Vegeta and Trunks can kind of come back for me. So. You'll definitely see new moves that Vegeta and Trunks unlocked. Trunks, we used to be able to do his energy sword a lot more in the run, until we kind of took over with up and downs. And then Vegeta, his energy punch is extremely powerful because it's based. The energy punch is actually combined of his strength and power, which is his energy. So it's kind of like a average type of thing or something like that. So. Alright, and this is going to be where we have to level up Vegeta. Now, Vegeta has to be level 30 as well before he can open the door to unlock Perfect Cell, which is going to happen. Now, another interesting aspect of this part in the game is Super Saiyan for Trunks and Vegeta have lowered the speed that it gives you to emulate the Super Saiyan Rage thing that they showed in the show. They have your speed, but they give you plus 20 to strength. So they definitely try to change the way that the show references them. Sad thing is Vegeta never went that, from based on the show, Vegeta never actually went that route. Trunks is the only one that did. Vegeta realized that the muscled up abilities was actually too slow. Like I said, you'll see a lot of energy punches here. We're already level 25. I saw 1 plus 2, another plus 1, so... Plus 1. Saber-tooth tigers are one of the most annoying characters or enemies in the game. Yep, they could be worse than God dang Cell himself. Plus 2. Alright, look at that. Alright, see what I meant by there? I did not let him bounce off the wall. So I punched, missed, and the alligator hit me back, so... More plus 2s. Alright, to kind of get these guys in line, we're definitely going to energy blast that. We need one more level. These guys are really aggressive today. Holy cow. They do not I'm gonna let you know, they do not normally attack 3 to 4 times in a row like that. Usually they attack like twice and try to run away. So... Alright. That fight is really easy. It's meant to be overpowered because the scene Vegeta was just killing Cell too. But this next part, Trunks has a bit of a problem. If you notice, I do not have the speed right there when Vegeta transferred him to Super Saiyan. So... All right, and that was a really good cell fight right there, you guys. That can take a lot longer, for sure. Especially considering Trunks is really strong. That was a lot faster than it usually is. That fight can be pretty scary as itself. But now that's over, we're on our way to Dragon Balls, the actual name of the show. Yeah, we gotta actually collect Dragon Balls in this game. So we gotta collect to get the, we gotta trigger the cutscene, or I want to do this so we can get the scouter. We do have to get that. Funny enough, the game is like, you need a scouter. Why don't you have it by now? So it just gives this to us. And that was actually supposed to be a side quest we were supposed to do earlier, but we ignored it. So now we're here. We gotta trigger the television? Yeah, it was a television with video. And then Goku's unlocked. You know? An hour and 10 minutes into the run, we get Goku, you know? Woo. Now, Goku, I did mention earlier about having the greatest RNG ever. His character is locked at level 35. So he has to level up 5 more times to get to 40. So we still have to train him to do something, to get past a door. It's annoying. But, we do need him to be strong, because he has to fight such high level characters. If he's weaker than any of the characters we have unlocked, he loses a lot of time. No reason, just because he started off weak. And the developers who decided to make it RNG, I don't know, man. That was... what a weird mechanic. Alright, this is where we get the Dragon Radar, which we do need to start this quest. Alright, and now we can collect the Dragon Balls. The first one we collect is in West City, but because it is faster to get out of the world map and then go back to the West City map. That's what we're gonna do, because we would have to follow a lot of screen transitions to go to West City. Now I'm gonna let you know that the stats have Goku's RNG stats have been determined already. I can't change them, or I can't just like save and reset if they're bad. They're determined pretty early on when you trigger certain cutscenes. Like when you trigger Vegeta's outer space one, that's when they're determined. When you trigger the cutscene for Goku, wow, that was an 80 punch. That is really bad. I saw it. And now I'm afraid. Afraid of this run, everybody. I'm afraid. But we'll continue. Like I said, it's usually come down to Goku. We can still do it. Goku just makes it much more difficult if he's lower than 100. So. Alright, we're back to Ginger Town. We do gotta get a Dragon Ball here as well. Again, yeah, Jirobe. Goku does have the highest endurance, so he can take a lot more punches than most of the characters. Yep, I saw 76. That's bad. That is the opposite of good. That is just 69. Yep. We're gonna get like 100 Super Saiyan Goku here. Yep. That's fine. The Dragon Ball Z community always has a bad luck with Goku. We actually have the way I've determined, and a few of the other members of the Dragon Ball Z community has been around for a long period of time. We have determined a certain average for each character, and the average is actually still pretty bad. Average is still not good at all. Now, the average for Goku the average we have is about 100 to 100 punches. Now, he can punch way more than that. He can punch up to 150 without Super Saiyan. Average for Vegeta. This is wasting a lot of time to fight these guys. The average for Vegeta is around 45 to 50, which that one's alright, but it's still bad. You definitely want a better Vegeta than that. And we got to collect this one right here. This opens up the door that we need to get to for the Dragon Ball. It's called a thief's hideout, so. But yeah, you definitely want a better Goku, and there's no way to control that, so. We did get energies, or health, so that's useful right there. Goku's charge attack is really good usefulness. It does the same thing similar to Gohan's spin kick, but it does like more damage, roughly, so. Now the ninjas you see here are going to be they're the same exact ninjas that we will be leveling Goku with. Actually, funny enough, so they're the exact same ninjas, so it's actually useful to fight them. They give a good amount of XP. The missile guys really don't. They don't give good XP at all. So we will be avoiding them. Alright, we are on our way. We're going to switch over to Gohan now. This is where we actually train Gohan now. So you will see Gohan trying to get to level 23 to 24. Hopefully not to die. Alright. See what I mean by the spin kick? The spin kick does a lot of damage in such a short burst. Alright, so we're gonna skip the ladybugs here. Got a lot of +2s. This is going pretty well. This is going pretty well. 23. Get the Dragon Ball. And we're gonna fight one more alligator on the way out, and then we're all good. That's actually pretty good Gohan grinding right there. That could be a whole lot worse, let me tell you. We do need to level up one more time. I was thinking maybe we can do 23, but 23 is still a bit, not bad. It's just... 24 is a better one. Nope. You can always get 25, it doesn't take that long. But it does require quite a few alligators that you could have probably had maybe on the way out. Alright, and then we gotta switch to Vegeta. Vegeta has the next door that we need to do. Now, good thing Vegeta's door is 30, so we didn't have to do any extra training, so that's always good. And this unlocks Goku's last 35 door, which gives us his training area as well. Alright. Just more movement here. Nothing really to say much about this area. Quite a few hidden spots. There's actually a hidden Namek. Another fun fact is there's actually 7 Nameks, and you can actually go to New Namek in this game and fight Cooler, you know. Don't tell anybody I told you. Alright, now this part of the area requires kind of a passcode. It's more searched by trial and error. I actually don't recall the game actually letting you know what's the correct shut-off valves so that you can get out of here. So... Alright, and you can kind of tell why it's taking things longer. If Goku is a lot stronger, he actually should be twice as strong right now. He should literally be punching twice the amount of what he's currently punching to make this fast. Another thing is that we're not killing fast enough so that we can get keep our Super Saiyan. $37. We got 3 more levels to go. We did get a +2, so that's very useful. Funny enough, Goku is probably weaker than... No, he's not weaker than Piccolo. He's definitely weaker than Trunks and Vegeta, so. That was such a weird setup right there. Alright, and if you notice, the passcode is right switch, left switch, and then the top switch, so... Oh wow, he shot the Ninja Star way too soon. It's a little bit abnormal than what they usually do. And if you notice, the fastest way to do this is to group up. They can, because they have the ability to throw ninja stars, it's a bit of a more of an annoyance if they get too far away. You can kind of see why I keep trying to do Flurry Punch to kind of offset the fact that Goku's punches are really weak. And we triggered the water. Now we get to fight. Now, if you watch the Dragon Ball show, if you remember watching that show, you might recognize a familiar face. Yep, and you guys would be guessed it. That is General Tao. The chicken. really abnormal for them to try to be so aggressive. And you want to stay away from those energy, those, oh man, those, this was a really bad fight. If Goku was, he had any amount of strength, man, this would not have been like that. But you want to stay away from those charge attacks. Those those energy waves, Kamehameha wave that Cell will be using, and you saw General Tao using there. Those will kill you in an instant. Like they programmed them to constantly do damage every second, without any kind of like defense to them or anything. You're level 39, right? Alright, and this is where we try to level up the last one. We didn't get really good, like, pluses at all. The fact that we're still punching 71s or 74s, that tells me we got, like, a +0 somewhere. +1. That Goku should not be punching that low. But yeah, you'll definitely see more runs with these kind of Goku. It's really good RNG if you can get like anything higher. We are gonna try to collect the last few Dragon Balls with Goku because of his high endurance. So there's 2 more Dragon Balls, and he kind of needs to go into one of the level 40 doors anyway. So. Alright, that was a bit sketchy. I do apologize for that. I was not expecting to get critical hitted there by that board. So we're gonna do some backup strats. And that. Alright, so now we're all good. Oh, I was trying to cut that a little too close. There's actually a bear hidden right behind this tree. Bad. Gotta go here one last time to get a Dragon Burr. You'll see a new section of the area we haven't been to, so. This is the area we used to level up Gohan too. It used to feel like it was forever when we were in this section. Guy needs to move. Like I said, Goku does have good endurance, so he can take quite a few of these punches, which is useful. Can he attack? No, he is not attacking at all. He is poop against these guys, so. They do like to charge attack a lot, so that always makes it useful to kind of avoid them. And that's Dragon Balls right there. That's it. That's all. We're gonna just go to talk to Dende, and then the final game. The final, like, 10 minutes of the game, where we fight Cell and his Cell Juniors. And, yeah. And more, and, like, just a lot of cutscenes, so. Alright, and now we're on to the final part of the game. The game will give us an automatic full heal, meaning full health and energy, before we start Cell, so that makes it easier on us. So we will definitely try to do that. We're going to start off Super Saiyan. Makes it a little easier when we're fighting him. Now this fight will take a little bit longer because, yeah, RNG with Goku. That's all you gotta chalk it up to, so. Bit of a cutscene here, so. Yeah, I mean, this game is really, it's a very fun game. It has a lot of movement, and it has a lot of cool aspects of the show itself, and, like, this is the scene where Hercule tries to fight Cell, so it even tries to kind of give you a laugh. You'll notice that a lot of sketchy parts were in the run, but overall, you know, there are backup strats. You can always save everywhere, you know. If you notice there, he was trying to Kamehameha wave me, and that would have been bad. Oh, I lost my Super Saiyan. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, like that, like I said, that took a lot longer than it should have. That really did. But Goku's over. He's done. That's it. Now it's Gohan and Cell Juniors. That's it. No more Goku. We're done. He is a troll. Goku is a troll in this game. But Gohan we can do well here, so. do want to go Super Saiyan as fast as possible here. This is always a good hideout to make sure you can do that. Not doing that. Nope. Whoa, that critical hit, man. Oh. That was the most. Ah. Look at that. There we go. We do have 3 more fights. Cell Juniors, which are a bit of a pain. But they're a little bit easier than what you just saw right there. The first one is Piccolo, so we do get the hardest one out of the way. Do want to get him back over there. Yeah, trying to hit him with the spin kick or anything at all is extremely difficult. Cell Junior's hitboxes is so tiny, like you have to be dead on to do damage. Now, Super Saiyan does come back as normal speed, so we got that. Or normal Super Saiyan speed, I guess, should be more. Now, Trunks' Sword Slash is extremely overpowered because it can hit him twice. One with the sword and the other one with the beam. Causing an incredible amount of damage, and if he's Super Saiyan, this thing can wreck him. We are a little bit low in health. Look at that. And that's it. That's the game. We got 2 more fights, and that's it. They're easy fights because Gohan gets the best boost in the entire game. He gets max stats. Boom. That's it. That means his endurance is max, his power is at max, and so is his strength. So. You're not a child, you're a monster. Overall, this run wasn't that bad. Actually, this could have been really close to my PB if Goku even remotely gave me any strength at all. This is probably be a 148 because of some bad fighting. So I had to run around because that critical hit, man. That critical hit. Alright, now we got about a 2-minute cutscene here. So yeah, this could be a 48 easily. Oh, 49. I looked at that wrong. And I forgot to split. Fine. Vegeta! Now! Do it now! Was your chance! Perfect! Oh wait, this might be a 150. Goku definitely lost us a lot of time. That's easily like 2.5 minutes of Goku, if not 3 minutes, because of such a low stat. Like, that was one of the lowest, like... I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I'm doing some GDQ submission, and Goku gives me the lowest stat possible. Alright, there we go, sub 50. Sub 150. And that's Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2.